Welcome to another episode of Breadcrumbs from the Soul, a radio station dedicated to finding those hidden miracles in life's everyday circumstances. I'm Reverend Michelle Rado, and I'm so glad that you decided to join me again. You may have noticed I've been gone for 2 weeks. That's because I've been moving, so I actually moved my residence. And that has a lot to do with the topic for this week, which is how do we find our footing in this world that is ever-changing? How do we balance ourselves in this ever-changing landscape that we live in? And so to begin this episode, I'm going to actually normally I use a quote, and then I apply the logic of the quote to an everyday circumstance, and then talk about some steps that we can all take in order to attempt to balance ourselves. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and use as the basis for today's episode something that I wrote in preparation for the episode. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. So bear with me. I'm going to have to put my glasses on. Here we go. The ecosystem of your mind. As a container, the ecosystem fully supports all life within it. Oxygen, water, all regenerative and perfectly supportive. The ecosystem of God's mind works the same. We exist within this beautifully pure mind, an ecosystem of love. Our minds, created in the image and likeness of God's, is an ecosystem which supports our free will and choices. For the unhealed mind, it is a prison, cause and effect repeating throughout time painfully. We continue in this circular fashion until we begin to wake up and take hold of our conscious awareness. For the healed mind, this ecosystem is heaven, abundant, unlimited love, peace, and joy, fully supported by God at all times. Time, having disappeared, becomes irrelevant to us as our soul soars with the angels forever and ever. Our work here is to see beyond the ecosystem which we have created and remember the one in which we really live. And so this ecosystem, and a conversation about this ecosystem, it really forms the basis for how do we find our footing in an ever-changing world. And so if we can consider that, if you're like me, I like to know what's next. As a human, I like to know what my plan is. I like to execute on my plan. I like to know what I'm doing tomorrow. I want to know what time I'm supposed to do those things tomorrow. And having that knowledge makes me feel more comfortable. I know what to expect. And if something doesn't go as expected, then I can become agitated. And therein lies an opportunity for me to heal. And this process of moving, which is going to be the example that I use today, an everyday experience of moving from one home to another, really was an opportunity for me to really see all those areas and aspects of myself that follow me around everywhere I go. There is a quote that Eckhart Tolle says, and I don't know if he is actually the person who said it first or if he's quoting somebody else, but Eckhart Tolle does say it, and he says, "Wherever you go, there you are." And I think that's really powerful. And to me, when you're trying to find your footing in this ever-changing world, when you want to find your balance and things are just constantly moving around, how do we do that? How do we center ourselves? And I believe it begins with an understanding of this ecosystem in which we have created, and in getting that we are actually at the center of this ecosystem. We are at the core of our ecosystem that we've created, and it's been created with all of our choices. And the experiences that we have, the people that we meet, and the way in which we respond to the circumstances of our life are all brought about and brought to us through through the energy that we fill the ecosystem with. As I mentioned at the beginning, as I read, the ecosystem of God, this universe of love that we live in, is loving. It's fully supportive, similar to the physical ecosystem that our bodies reside in. The ecosystem that our heart resides in, quite honestly and literally, is within God. And born in the image, created in the image and likeness of our loving source, of God, we have the capability, through choice, through free will, to create our own ecosystem that sustains us. And herein lies the miracle. And so what we're always wanting to do on Breadcrumbs from the Soul is find those hidden miracles. And so the hidden miracle is that we are the center of our own universe. We are the center of this ecosystem that we've created. What happens out here begins always first within here. And so it's the energy that we put into this ecosystem that surrounds us and supports us. And at first, if you're having a bad experience, you don't really want to hear that. That's not really very pleasant. I had some very unique experiences during the move. I had moments of absolute beauty and clarity, and I was at peace no matter how many things weren't going to plan. And then there were times where I was absolutely beside myself, disturbed. My peace had been disturbed. I had let the tasks that I wanted to get done and the interactions that were taking place, I had let them get to me. And so in that space, it was very difficult when I was frustrated and when anger was bubbling up. It was very difficult for me to admit to myself that those feelings first come from here. But if we want to heal, we have to understand that we have to address those issues causing us anger and causing us frustration. And as Eckhart Tolle says, wherever you go, there you are, really indicates to us, it's a pointer that it's not our home that causes the happiness. It's not whether or not my house is in order and things are put away that causes happiness, or whether or not I have things exactly the way I want them. What if my furniture doesn't fit in the new place? It's not those things that cause the happiness. It is either I'm a happy person wherever I go, and in the face of whatever experience I might be experiencing, or I'm not. And in those areas where I'm not, those are areas for me now to heal. And the hidden miracle is that my little ecosystem that I've created, because I'm created in the image and likeness of my loving source, and my loving source is all supportive and nurturing. This nurturing environment that I'm in is designed to teach me and to show me and to reflect to me. My ecosystem reflects to me that which I most need to learn in order to heal. And for those of us who are studying A Course in Miracles, we are learning that this healing, this correction in our thinking is absolutely necessary if we desire to awaken, if we desire to arrive and experience enlightenment. Then we have to heal. And the only way to heal is if we can recognize what it is we're supposed to heal. So this ecosystem actually gives back to us the energy that we're putting into it for the purpose of us learning through example what exactly we're up to. That's what it's all about. So if I'm experiencing frustration and I'm experiencing anger, those are things that first start within me that I need to heal. And the only way I'm going to recognize that I need to heal it is if I experience it, number one, allow the experience so that I can see it, and then number two, so that I get, oh, got it. I'm not really angry about the furniture not fitting. I'm angry about something else. There's something else going on, and I need to heal whatever's really causing me the anger. I need to allow myself to recognize that I am something far different than this little person in a little body who just moved from one little place to another, who wants to have furniture in just the right place. I'm really a powerful particle in the most magnificent universe, and I am powerful beyond belief, and I am able to call forth incredible experiences. I'm able to share the awakening process. I'm able to share my joy and my light with others in a way that brings about joy and happiness, and that there is nothing better or greater or bigger than joy and happiness. And in order to arrive at joy and happiness, I have to get that I'm not anything else other than a child of a loving source, a child of God. I have to get that. And that doesn't mean I'm a child of God in the moments when my furniture fits and things are in order and things are going to a plan, but I'm not a child of God when things aren't working right. You either are or you aren't. And as long as you entertain and believe and hold belief that you are not, you will experience disruption to your peace. And when you feel peaceful, that is your acknowledgement that you are actually at one, at peace, at one with your loving source. So how do we find our footing? How do we find our balance? It begins with, if you entertain the concept of the ecosystem. The ecosystem is not a fixed item. It's not like a piece of furniture. The ecosystem is something that surrounds you. It moves with you as you move. It supports your breath. It supports your actions. And so it's not stagnant. It's ever changing. And so when you understand that you are at the core of this, and that the energy that you're putting out into your environment is that which you're getting back, you're able to catch yourself. And so let's go through the steps. How do we catch ourselves, and how do we center ourselves when we've lost our way? Okay, and I can't tell you how many times I lost my way during this move, but that's the beauty of it. For every moment that I lost my way was an incredible moment of revelation, that I was able to then regain my center, that I was able to get back to where I really live, which is in the ecosystem of love. You could say the ecosystem of my heart. So let's visit the steps, shall we? Here you are, there's something changing, and it's very unsettling, and you just really want to stable. You just need to be stable, and you're feeling very unsettled. Step one is when you become aware, because you're feeling anger, frustration, when you become aware that you've lost your footing, that you've lost your balance a little bit, call yourself back. Take a moment. Take one mindful breath. You can do it when you're driving. You can do it when you're talking to somebody. Just maybe not as noticeable. Just take one inner breath. And center yourself back in the knowledge. Remind yourself, I reside in the ecosystem of love. That is my home. I am a child of God. That can never, ever be taken away from me. That doesn't change if I lose my job. It doesn't change if I move my home. It doesn't change if I lose my home. It doesn't change if I have furniture or don't have furniture. It doesn't change if I don't get my things done that I plan to do today or if I don't. It does not change if I meet my deadlines or if I do not meet my deadlines. That is my truth. I am the center of my own ecosystem. I am experiencing frustration. Step 2. I am experiencing frustration. Step 2 is to recognize and take responsibility for your experience of a circumstance. Here's a circumstance. Things are not going to plan. Here's your experience. You're okay with it? You're peaceful? Well, things aren't going to plan. There must be a better plan out there. Someone greater than me, Holy Spirit, that part of me that's connected to my all-loving source, has a better plan for me. I think I'll just go that way. I'm good with it. Or, it's your choice. Or, I can't believe they're not listening to me. They're not doing what I said they were supposed to do. There's a whole timeline here. If people were just following the plan, everything would be going right now. But instead, I'm late. This isn't going to happen. How am I going to change this? That's my choice. So I need to, step 2, take responsibility. I am the center of my ecosystem. I am made in the image and likeness of my powerful, loving source. And I'm being given right now, I'm being shown back. It's kind of like a video. I'm being shown back, if I can just step out of it and realize an opportunity to heal. I'm feeling frustrated. Why am I feeling frustrated? So step 3, let's use this opportunity to learn and open ourselves up to the lesson, the miracle that's hidden within this circumstance. And the miracle is that this ecosystem of love that surrounds us is set up to feed us just that information that we need to heal and to move forward. That's the miracle of it. So step 1 is we've caught ourselves, we've reminded ourselves who we really are. Step 2, and that's not contingent on any worldly thing at all. Step 2, we are taking responsibility. And step 3, we want to open ourselves up to learn the lesson. And this is where willingness comes in. This is about being willing to learn and heal. And the best way that I know how to do this, because it's not like you suddenly get an answer that says, oh, well, you know, the reason why this is happening to you and you're frustrated is because of X. Sometimes you just know. For instance, I became frustrated. Things were not going to plan during the move. I was very frustrated. And I caught myself and I reminded myself, okay, and I recognized I took responsibility, and now I'm wanting to know, step 3, what the heck is it that's really got me mad here? What's got me frustrated and angry? And I realized I am a control freak. I realized I really have a need to control. And I realized I became open and willing. I didn't know why I was so upset, and I asked Spirit, why am I so upset? I'm open and I'm willing to release the need to control the situation to the point where it makes me mad. I'm open to that. I'm willing to learn my lesson. And then I just went about my day, because you don't necessarily get the answer in your ear. And then a few hours later, it dawned on me. I don't know, I may have been driving back to get another load, and it dawned on me, you are a control freak. You love to manage every bit of the circumstances. And I realized, well, why do I need to manage all the circumstances? And I realized that there's a fear that I have. And that fear is in allowing the universe to lead the way, in trusting the universe. And so I realized that I need to really have trust in my core and my center as I move forward. And so that I realized that that's where my work needs to be now, is in trusting the future in the hands of this loving universe. And so step one is becoming aware and reminding yourself who you really are. Step two, you want to take responsibility. This experience that you're having, of frustration and anger, or whatever that experience is that's negative, is coming to you as a helpful service in your ecosystem. You've put that energy out. It started in here, and now it's coming back to you so you can look at it. And so you can do something with it. You need to take responsibility for that and bring forth that which you prefer. In my case, whenever I am angry or frustrated, and I catch myself being angry or frustrated, and I'm taking responsibility, the first thing I will do, and I'll just repeat it to myself, is I choose peace. I bring peace. I am peace. I offer peace. Peace begins here within me. That is my gift. I choose peace. So you take responsibility. Now you're going to look at it. And now you have a choice. Do you want to heal, or do you want to wallow in it? So we choose willingness to heal, willingness to learn our lesson. And in that place, we release, and the lesson will come to us. And as we get a lesson, so as I learned that my lesson was, you're going to have to let go of the control thing. You're just going to have to let that go. You're going to have to work on trust. Now I have something that I can use in my journaling. I have something I can use in my prayers. I have something I can use in my meditations. And I can use willingness to learn and to heal as a means of learning the lessons that I need to learn. My lessons are going to be different than your lessons. You might say, I am love. I choose love if you're feeling hatred. I choose joy if you're feeling depressed. Choose that which is loving, that which God would choose for you. I hope that you find these steps to be helpful in finding your footing in a world that's constantly changing, and in recognizing that it all starts right here. Here's your footing in your heart, the ecosystem of your heart. I'm going to go ahead and release a companion meditation that you can use this week in order to help you to center yourself at times when things are changing quickly and you're trying to regain your balance. And so I'll go ahead and put a link at the end of this video, and I hope that you enjoy that meditation, and I hope that you'll join me again next week, same time, Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock Pacific time, for another episode of Breadcrumbs from the Soul. Until then, I hope that you have a blessed week.